Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Fanboy Four show. I am one of your hosts, Justin. Joining me, as always, is Brandon.
Hello.
Steven.
Yo.
And Anthony.
Oh, hi, guys.
What?
Also joining us is Tony. There's two people.
Oh, hi, guys. Wait, who did you say last? Wait, did you not say my name, or did I just
No, I said Anthony, and then I said, and also Tony. So both of them.
Oh, hi, guys.
Got two.
Oh, shit. And now we have split personality, so thank you.
Yeah, there you go. So today on the show, we are going to discuss the Netflix show Black Mirror. It's a favorite of all of ours.
Just like that. Look at that. It's a Black Mirror.
I'm not black, I'm white.
It was just a reflection of us.
It just shows up.
Right. That's
trippy.
the purpose.
This is just like Black Mirror. It's a little bit trippy. Yes, but Black Mirror is a favorite show of all of ours. So we've, for a long time, even before this podcast, on our old podcast, we had thoughts of putting together a episode just dedicated to the show, and that is now finally coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a picture up. It's the new favorite.
Can you not find the animated version of that? Because that would be great.
Well, I have an animated version, but it's not that. I've been watching the Oz for the last couple of days, so I've been kind of.
Oh, that is not coming in well.
Wait, there it is. All right, let's get this shit on the road.
So, if you're watching the show, say hi in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Probably Facebook. It seems where we get most of our viewers. But if you're watching, let us know. Also, make sure you follow our site or our Facebook, like us, follow us on Twitter. Twitter is at Fanboy4Pod. Just so share us around, and also just so we can get more and more awesome people watching the show. But first off,
Love
before
you,
we
awesome
get
nerds.
yeah. Anyway, coming up now is the news. There we go. We didn't have that last week because you weren't here right away.
That's my bad. Well, Brandon should have stepped in.
Me?
So,
Just stepped up, son.
So, just to start off, just a small little news blurb.
Today, Junior.
Just a little news blurb for today is that Action Comics 1000 came out today. Pretty big deal. Are any of you picking it up besides me? Actually,
I'm definitely. I subscribe to it, so yes.
I think in terms of just maybe like future monetary, like something just have for like it, like maybe or something like that. But I don't actually read Action Comics, so
yeah, neither do I. But I just kind of picked it up because I was like curious to see how Bendis' Superman story was, and then like you said, it's kind of just something cool to have. Like I just got a variant just because like whatever, this one's the coolest one, or like the one I like the most. So I was like, screw it, I'll grab this one. But I mean, it's $8, but it's something cool to have, I guess. Just the 1000th issue of a comic.
Yeah.
But
I'll probably pick up a variant of some sort.
Which one will have a value though, like later down the line? The original or like a variant?
That's what I'm wondering, because a lot of people are saying that on Twitter. They're like, I wonder if so many people are just going to buy the variants that the normal one is going to be the one that like is worth more, because it's just like no one wanted it because it's actually like the most doo-doo cover.
The super exclusive Third Eye variant.
I know. I kind of, as I was looking through the variants today, I was like, I don't know. I think I like the Third Eye one more, but I'm like,
I already know I'm gonna be that guy who buys like 3 issues of this, like buy 3 of them, or like 3 or 4 variants, like an asshole.
I'm pretty sure that Third Eye is selling a pack. Like you can buy a pack of 4 that's 4 random variants.
Yeah, and I think they also have a thing because they have like a cover for each era, like 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 2000s. I'm pretty sure I've seen a lot of comic stores that's like, you can just buy like a pack that has all of them, like every era.
Oh, God. I'm
gonna
buy that pack.
Yep. But I just like had like a bunch of other stuff going on in it. So,
God. just wait to get to Detective Comics. God damn it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is next year they're gonna have their 1000th.
Yeah,
and that one's gonna be worse for me because like I'm not really a Superman fan that much, at least not yet. So like, but Batman, I love Batman, so it's gonna be like, fuck. But
I'm screwed. I'm just. I'm just giving my debit card here. Just take the number and just charge it.
Just keep this here.
Give him a blank check.
Yeah. So also in the news, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is heavily rumored to not have a traditional single-player campaign. What do we think about that? I guess the focus is going to be multiplayer, and there's even a rumored Battle Royale mode that will be in the game instead. And zombies, of course.
So are they doing like the Titanfall thing? Because didn't I never played Titanfall 1. Didn't they do Titanfall 1 was like, it was multiplayer, but there was like story stuff in the multiplayer?
There was a very, very minor story-esque thing that was still based around the multiplayer.
Okay.
And so one, it was not very solo player-ish at all.
I think like I actually kind of liked campaigns. I thought they had some decent stories, even though for the most part they were just kind of tutorials on how to play the game. Even though like, and then they also had really good like voice actors. Like I mean, one time they had Kevin Spacey and Sam Worthington.
Yep.
Can't forget Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, true.
They had Kit Harington. Wait,
yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah, they did. That's right.
He was a villain of one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. My thing is like, what's the point of the titling then if there's no campaign? Like, why? What makes it Black Ops?
That's what makes me kind of is because actually I feel like Black Ops, at least in my opinion, had the best like story, like campaign modes. Like at least the first one, the second one, I didn't actually play the third one. But it's kind of like, so why is this called Black Ops 4 if it's not continuing the story from 3 or even 1 or 2? It's like, seems kind of an odd. It's like, are you just cashing in on the Black Ops name? And it's like, I mean, obviously it's a rumor right now, so maybe there'll be some way they make that make sense. But if it doesn't, that seems kind of odd to me.
Well, they probably will just keep the same type of, like the characters and the skins and like the setting is what they'll keep. Another thing that I saw, I think Game Rant came out with yesterday, is a bunch of sources have confirmed. It obviously hasn't been confirmed by Activision, but there's going to be a battle royale mode. So Fortnite, PUBG, they're Call of Duty trying to cash in on that, that hype now. So
I know this isn't our E3 preview episode, but I have a feeling every game's going to try and cash in on that soon. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Battlefield has one. I wouldn't be surprised if Red Dead Redemption 2 has one. Like,
you're gonna have Madden Battle Royale, FIFA Battle Royale.
That would actually be pretty interesting.
Tetris Battle Royale.
Tetris Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. Pac-Man Battle Royale.
Battle Royale.
Nintendo needs to come out with the Pokemon Battle Royale.
You know what they got to come out with? They need to come out with Bomberman Battle Royale because that was the original Battle Royale game.
Wait, what was it?
Bomberman.
Oh, Bomberman.
Except there'd be 100 people on screen. It'd just be complete chaos.
Yeah, nobody gets frame rate. That's pretty much what.
Basically, the game just doesn't run. You hit a button and you hope that you didn't die. Turn-based Bomberman. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting. Something else I found kind of interesting is that I actually saw this today, and actually one of you added this note. An older version of Cassie Lang cast for Avengers 4. So that kind of confirms at least Ant-Man's presence in Avengers 4. What do we think about that? Obviously, next week is our Infinity War theory megasode, but what do we think about Cassie Lang?
I didn't want to get into too many spoilers or theories since that's what we're doing next week. But like it is weird because like I looked up the actresses that play her. Like so the girl that plays her now is 10. And the new actress is going to be like 16 or 17. So like what happens in between Infinity War and Avengers 4 that there's like a 6-year time jump or something. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, definitely.
They could also age her down. So it's like they try to make it look like a 3 or 4 year time jump. Like they could do that, or it could be like something. Again, not trying to be too like spoilers for next week, but like at the end of Avengers 4, they show like this is where everyone is after 3 years after whatever happens. Like everybody's happy. Like,
the other thing is you can't rule out like time travel with the time stone if that's still a thing in 4. Like they go 5 years in the future to get someone or do something.
It could, and also it could be something that's exclusively happens in Ant-Man and Wasp. Like, I mean,
right.
I don't know if, I guess this is a theory exclusive from Infinity War, but basically, I mean, maybe Cassie gets like stuck in like the microverse herself, and like she shows up aged a little bit, or comes back aged.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very interesting. Also in casting news, not for Avengers 4, but for Stranger Things Season 3, Carrie Elwes?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to pronounce his name either.
And
the guy from Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Time.
And then Jake joined the Stranger 3 cast, or Stranger Things 3 cast.
Is he going to be like, I want to play a game, kids?
Yeah. I forget that he does.
That might be a little bit spoiled. That might be spoiled.
Well, I mean, those movies, the Saw movies are pretty old, so it's like, but he does end up being one of the like villains, right?
Yeah, I think in the last movie, he is like the last, like, well, not the current one, but the last like Saw movie.
Jigsaw?
He's like the Jigsaw. He is he's like Jigsaw at that point.
Okay. And then Jake Busey, like, I thought that was pretty interesting because he's been in a movie kind of similar to Stranger Things and with the Frighteners. So, like
he was also in Starship Troopers.
Oh, true.
Mm-hmm.
that's the same thing, but that's just like one iconic thing I remember him from is like just being the douche in Starship Troopers.
Yeah, Frighteners is definitely the big one for me. Like, I just love that movie. But yeah, but he plays a vengeful ghost that pretends to be the Grim Reaper. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen it.
So he's like Castor's bully.
Yeah,
that's
Isn't that like the last Michael J. Fox movie? Like, isn't that the one, like the last movie he did, or like the real movie he did? Because can't you kind of tell he's like, he has his part? Like, I remember seeing it, like, you can kind of see his Parkinson's is kind of.
I think I don't know about like like movie wise, yes, but like acting wise, I feel like he kept doing Spin City after that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I thought Spin City was done by then.
Really?
But no, he was on a TV show like a year or two. He had a TV show like 2 or 3 years ago, within the last like 3 or 4 years. He had a TV show. But yeah, I just remember from seeing him. I like that movie too. Like you can kind of tell he's very like, they make his character seem crazy-ish, and he's kind of always like he's
I know, like he's like, a little loopy,
like a paranoid, like a very paranoid person,
yeah, exactly.
kind of like on edge, but it's obviously
Yeah. Also, Steven, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he is, but Jake Busey, he's also in an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
Like, okay. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if that was him for sure. So
that it was.
I just thought it'd be interesting because they both played villains in like scarier movies. So like it'd be
the article that I was reading said that Carrie Elwes or whatever is supposed to be a slick and sleazy politician in Stranger Things 3.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that he was supposed to be the mayor, actually. So
that makes sense.
And then I don't know about Jake Busey's role. I didn't see anything for him.
He's the Grim Reaper.
That'd be hilarious.
Either way, it's gonna be good because it's Stranger Things. So
right.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty excited. And then the last bit of news that we have is comics news. First off, in DC, Catwoman is going to be getting a solo series in July, written and drawn by Joelle Jones. Will any of you be picking it up?
Yes, I've read the book that they did before. I think it's Lady Killer. Lady Killer is a pretty good book, and the art and everything is pretty good. It's basically about, if I got the team right, it's basically about a housewife who's also like an assassin. So like during the day, she's like from like the old 50s and 60s. She's like a normal housewife, and then at night she goes and murders people. So
that's interesting.
Did they do the wedding yet?
Nope, that is on 4th of July.
Okay, well, I guess our theory that she's gonna die isn't going to happen then.
True. Yeah,
or she could be brought back.
50. Actually, I think in solicitations, it's solicited for the same day, which is kind of weird. So like Batman 50 comes out, which is the wedding, and then the same day Catwoman 1 comes out. So, and Catwoman 1 supposedly like starts up directly after the wedding.
She's like,
even the cover of Catwoman 1, it's her in the dress still, and in her hand she's actually holding an issue of Batman 50. So,
oh, interesting.
Kind of weird, but
Catwomanception.
And then in Marvel news, solicitations came out for that yesterday actually, and it revealed an X-Men comic that does not have a name or anything. They just have it listed as X Classified. The writer, cover artist, everything other than variant artists is all marked classified, and even the story is classified. What would you hope it's going to be? What are you hoping it to be?
I hope that it's actually not another X-Men comic. They need to just stop making X-Men comics and just
like another ongoing or just anything.
Yeah, just like I don't know. Just I mean, if they should just stop with like all the colors and the different astonishing, like just close it all out and get one X-Men comic. I think
that's uncanny.
I think that's what they need to do to restart it. Is stop everything like Jean Grey. I know Iceman, Jean Grey, like some of those are going to stop already, but like just give me one X-Men comic and then you can start building off of that later down the road, but just bring it back to one, I think is
one team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think when I think of this, I think maybe X-Force kind of like more spy-ish, like silent type missions. I don't know, or maybe more like the those new books that came out where it was like the rehashing of the timeline and stuff like that.
Yep. The other thing people have been theorizing that maybe it's a Wolverine solo book, like he's just gonna have his own book because obviously, I don't think Hunt for Wolverine concludes that month. I don't think it concludes till August, but by that point, it'll be like I think there'll be like one issue left in all the miniseries. So I think at that point you would kind of have a general idea of what's going to happen, and I don't know. There's that little graphic about that shows like the breakdown of Hunt for Wolverine. At the end, it has like a mystery comic, like it all leads to this. And a lot of people are wondering if it's that, and then other people were thinking, oh, maybe it's Uncanny X-Men. But the thing that's kind of weird is it just kind of did the writing team for Astonishing X-Men after the 12th issue. So we already have a writer for that. So unless that's going to continue and they're going to consolidate, unless they're going to have just another X-Men book and it's going to be Uncanny and then red, blue,
X-Men white and X-Men black.
I mean,
X-Men clear.
Yeah. And there's also rumors that maybe towards the end of the year or beginning of next year, they're going to kind of do another resurrection kind of thing where they're going to start over and have all new books. But I don't know. It's just like, but if they do that, they need to literally just have like Uncanny and just be like done with it. Maybe a few other like
there's too many extra comics.
Shut up.
I wish I could
Billy.
If it wasn't for the fact that this is Fanboy 4, not Fanboy 3, I would kick you out right now. I think that's all the news. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. No, I didn't. Yeah. So now it's time.
One thing I did see, I don't know if it's that really big of a deal, but I saw Margot Robbie is supposed to be the lead for the Birds of Prey movie.
I think it's supposed to be Harley.
Yeah.
I think Harley is kind of, but that doesn't make any sense because she's not.
Wouldn't she be the?
She's not a bird.
She'd be the villain. Yeah, she's not a bird.
So I mean, maybe she's the main villain. I don't know.
Well, probably just because she's going to be the biggest actress of whoever they cast. So
all I gotta say about that is DC.
It ain't ever coming out.
DCU while you do this.
Hey, Steven Spielberg's helping one of the movies. Maybe better.
Hey,
wait, which movie is he helping with?
Was it the New Gods one or is it a different one?
No, it's something different. Oh God.
Oh, I saw it. Black Hawk, right?
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I don't even know who that character is.
I thought I was like, huh. Yeah. I don't know. We seem to go on a tangent every other episode about did they see you? So I'll just say because it's probably the same thing rehashed. But we will just do an episode one time where it's just like a whole tangent. Like the episode is just a full tangent about the DCU and what we would do to fix it or something.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
All right, so oh God, it's the Black Mirror. I'm looking into it's myself.
You're looking into your soul.
It's me.
It's a me. So Black Mirror is a really good show. So
that's it. That's the episode. Thanks for watching.
You got done. Complete. So
I just gotta get the shirt there.
Yeah, Tony's real ready for this episode. Got the San Junipero shirt on.
Start with like the real life stuff, and that way we can kind of.
Yeah. So basically, if you've never seen Black Mirror, you should definitely watch it, and also maybe pause this and come back to it because we're probably get a little bit.
Spoiler alert for anybody who has not watched all of Black Mirror and doesn't want it spoiled.
There's 4 seasons. I think the first season's 3 episodes, then 4, then 5, then 6. Yep. If you're going in order 1 through 4 for the seasons. So there's not like a ton, but the episodes are usually about an hour. Some of them are a little bit longer. They're almost like mini movies. And that's the right thing about the show, at least to me, is that every episode is not really directly related to any of the other episodes too much. I mean, there's one that kind of is kind of like a Easter egg episode, but we'll get to that in a minute. But basically, it's all about kind of like, it's almost like a horror show in a way, but it's not like jump scares and stuff like that. It's kind of like showing you technology and how it can go very, very wrong in the near future. And it's all stuff that seems very plausible and probable. And I think that's what makes it a horror show and a little bit like a little bit scary because I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys like Black Mirror first off?
Yeah,
it's like the Twilight Zone.
Exactly.
Like,
I was just gonna say that.
It's it's like all those anthology shows I used to love, like Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, stuff like that. So
I think that the technology basis on the show is pretty much the most scariest because, like you said, it's like this could actually really happen. Like,
yeah, and as we're about to discuss, some of it already is happening.
Yeah. So let's just get right into it. Like, I know, for instance, there's an episode called Nosedive, and it's about a rating system. Basically, it's almost like Facebook evolved, but into real-world applications. Basically, the way in the episode it works is every interaction you have with someone, you rate them on a scale. Well, based on your rating, your overall rating, sometimes you get perks, or some people look at you negative. If you have a bad rating, they'll look at you negatively, or if you have a high rating, they look at you positively, and you'll get access to other stuff. In, I believe it was Japan, correct?
China. Yeah.
This is kind of a thing.
Yeah, this is actually happening. Yep. So,
Brad, would you like to explain?
Me?
Yes, please.
Okay. So yeah, basically the Chinese government is planning to create a rating. It's like they're calling it a social credit system, I think is what it's basically being called. But it rates their people's like trustworthiness and that's kind of based off of their financial like credit scores and even like political beliefs and stuff like that, apparently, like, which is just really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'll allow you, and then basically kind of what you said, it'll allow certain people access to like maybe better quality products or like better quality like service, stuff like that. So it's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's very creepy.
And then go ahead, sorry.
It's just, I was gonna say, it's just really, really creepy to think that based on just like a rating, like your whole life could be altered. And in the episode Nosedive, what they kind of show is like this person just becomes consumed with their rating. Like they just need to get higher because they want to be, in the upper echelon of people. And I think the main thing she wanted was to be able to buy a certain house. Yeah. And she wasn't able to buy it without a certain rating.
Right.
She had to have to be in that neighborhood. So she like is obsessing. She's like doing things that she would never really do. She's like being phony, and she's just completely buying into this other person that she's trying to be just to get this house and get with her one friend and go to their wedding and be all this other stuff. It's a really good episode. But
we have a saying around this house. We talk about people's Facebook lives, about how they're totally different from the real life.
Yeah,
how people just want to post on Facebook. Oh, we had this wonderful time at this place, and it was so great. And then, really, in real life, it's like you're a douchebag. Like nobody actually likes you, but you get a lot of likes on your pictures because your kid's cute or your dog's cute, but nobody actually really likes you in person. Right. So,
talking about me, man.
Yeah.
Tell him. Everybody loves me in the comment.
That's the only reason why,
right?
So, and then, I mean, besides the Chinese government doing it, like, I mean, there are obviously other like apps that we all kind of use sometimes that have rating systems like Yelp and what else? Like Uber, you can rate people. You know, there's already kind of rating systems we use today that like kind of affect someone's.
Yelp and Uber are pretty big ones because, like, I mean, for Yelp, if you're in a neighborhood or you're looking for a restaurant and you're trying to find a place and you're like, oh, this place only has 3 stars and this one has 4, you're like, I'm going to the 4 one. Like, I'm not like that's already type of a thing. And then Uber's like, you get a guy that has like a 4.1 star and you're like, man, this car ride's gonna suck or this guy's gonna be weird, and you get a 4.7, you're like, this car's gonna be great, he's gonna be a nice person. Like,
or the driver rates you for like then you can't get a ride.
Right. Shit's cray.
Even Tinder, if you really think about it, and that kind of almost harkens to the Hang the DJ episode a little bit. It's not exactly the same, but I could definitely see a world where Hang the DJ is a real life.
Can you let me get to my favorite episodes? God damn.
We'll get there, right? We're gonna talk about all the damn episodes before we start.
I know.
Okay. We can probably just go like over some of our others afterwards, kind of thing. So let's just get into the top 4. Did you guys rank yours like 4, 3 2 1?
I did not. I just have.
I did not either.
Okay,
it was already hard enough to pick 4. So
okay,
to rank those was.
I did the same thing. I didn't really rank them. I just listed them. So we'll go backwards because Tony's actually wearing a San Junipero shirt. So we'll start with Tony. What was one of your first of your 4 episodes?
I'm just giving you one.
Just one of them. Yeah. If you haven't ranked, you can start with 4. But
all right. So mine's are ranked. So my number 4 is Nosedive. Kind of for all the reasons you were saying before, how like we were talking about like Yelp, all that stuff, and how like some people become obsessed with that stuff, and how people are obsessed with like ratings and stuff, and like how kind of like we have a person like that. We have like Kim Kardashian, who's like most of her like fame is from people not rating her, but liking stuff she does on like her social media. All like her social media is basically built her.
Right.
Well, it's just like even
a sex tape, but hey.
It's even like a lot of these like Instagram models, like they're famous because I know I just saw a story like there's an Instagram model that literally somehow she always sits like in the bullpen behind the Yankees games because she's trying to get with Aaron Judge. But like her like claim to fame is she's an Instagram model. Like she just shows her butt and like that's it. Like I mean, good for her that she's being able to get so popular. But at the same time, it's like it's one of those things where it's like she's gotten so popular just because of social media, and it's just like and I would imagine in her life, it's very strategic for her, like her posts and like how she's going to do certain things and what she's going to say and what she types out, because she wants to keep building that following to build her celebrity.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much like
basically the show.
Yeah, it's like in high school, when we were in high school, the really hot popular girls got like all the guys wanted them, and they got guys bought them flowers and like bought them food and all kinds of stuff. Well, now it's like that, but like on a larger scale because the world can see it. So it's like, man, that girl is really hot. She's got a nice butt and she shows it all the time. Let's give her free stuff.
Yeah.
They get like sponsorships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they get free stuff all the time.
I wish I could show my titties on Instagram and get free stuff. Good God.
You don't?
Oh, true. I should probably should do that.
Right now.
Yeah.
Like
one thing I do like about that episode is like the whole thing of like they kind of try to make it seem that the more likes you get, the more you're like liked by people. With example, like the one guy at her job where like people didn't start to dislike him. So as he got less and less likes, people just kind of avoided him, even to the point where like he couldn't even get into his job at that point. That kind of thing. And also
go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
And also they kind of contrast that with when she meets the older lady in the 18-wheeler of how like she just said fuck it with the likes, and she's so much more happier now, and she doesn't really care what other people think. And I kind of like that kind of.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes to show like she's a truck driver, so she literally just doesn't talk to anybody, so she doesn't care that her rating's lower. But that guy is trying to work in an office setting with a bunch of people, so he needs to maintain that high like level. So and it was like I actually had that on my list, but I'll swipe that out because I had another one. But on that one, like one thing I noticed that was really interesting, which we sometimes kind of do, like I'm not we, but like people sometimes try to do, is like she's like, man, I really need some likes today, so she posts a picture of her old teddy bear, like her old friend thing, because her friend is super popular. So if her friend likes her post, then all of her friends, high level friends, will like and bump the score up. So it's like we sometimes do that too, like, man, I want to get some likes today, let me post a picture of my dog, and then everybody loves you.
Goddamn right. Goddamn
does all the time. He's like, man, I need to pick me up. Post a picture of Dakota, and he's like, people like me.
I only do it for like 2 or 3 people. I only know 2 or 3 people who actually want to see Dakota.
Yeah, kind of like our show and how we need 100 subscribers for our YouTube name.
Definitely share this so that you consumed by it.
Right.
Yeah, but actually, Nosedive was one of my 4 as well, and. Another thing is I feel like Bryce Dallas Howard just does a very good job of just playing the character. Because like you kind of were saying, like it starts out where she's just more and more obsessed, and then she meets that truck driver, and that truck driver basically tells her like, I used to be like this too, and then I just said fuck it. And then by the end of the episode, it kind of shows like the whole like her kind of just being like fuck it, like herself, like she's just she just loses, she finally breaks and just doesn't care anymore. But by that point she's incarcerated. But it's just I don't know. I just like the episode, just the whole journey of the episode. It was actually, to be honest, it was the first episode I've ever watched. So I started at season 3, and then I went backwards. But yeah, it was it's definitely one of my top 4.
It was up there for me. Probably not my. I don't know which one. One for me that I would swap with that, since I had them both, is Be Right Back, which is season 2, episode 1, which is the one with Haley Atwell and Domhnall Gleeson. Basically where he is obsessed with social media and like looking on his phone, and so their relationship's kind of not in flux, but like not really a good place. So then he is driving by himself and he gets into a car accident and he dies, and they just moved into a house and she was pregnant, and then basically his consciousness is put into a synthetic body, and then he basically like lives with her. So that was, for me, that one was kind of like, it was just a weird type of thing to see with her, especially because I think later in the episode, like they start like making love basically, but he's like a robot, so it's like a weird type of
How
thing.
would you like it like this? How would you like it?
Yeah. But it was a better episode because Haley Atwell showed her boobies in a bra, so that was really
nice.
Blessed.
This is also one of the real life ones too. I mean, that we've kind of been seeing lately, like with the robotics being super advanced and like kind of being able to talk back in a conversation and stuff like that.
I forget the one's name. Sophia, I think, is the name of that the one where she had her conversation with Will Smith. That was like,
that
was
not to mention like I remember when Ebert died, he had enough vocal clips that they were able to make like like him talking. Like correctly, or even like that video I showed. I don't know if I posted it in our chat or not, but there was a video that Jordan Peele did
with Obama,
with the Obama thing, where it's like it looks like him. Like, but I'm saying like you combine like that Sophia technology with something like that, like just the voice, the way that, and like I wouldn't be surprised if in 10, 15, 20 years, like you'd be like, oh yeah, we can just make this celebrity be alive again, kind of thing, like. Tupac's back. He's not a hologram.
They have the holograms. Like that's
right, and that's a step towards it too. Really, like I'm saying, you're seeing all these different technologies, and at one point, someone's going to link them, and it's going to be like, all right, so now we have this person is back, like, and they're just a robot now. It's just I don't know.
That was one part that like really got to me of how like the fact of like, because like cut out the robot part, like just the fact of like. He has all of his social media, all of his like emails and like all this information on him that you can just feed all that into a computer and like it just kind of replicates you in a sense. Like it has all that data on you and like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And like it's like if when somebody we know passed away and we like just give it all of like their social media stuff and like we could almost just have a conversation with it like it never went away. Or like they never went away.
They become your Siri on your phone. You're like, hey, what's the weather going to be today? And then it's whoever you want is like, you better bring a coat. It's going to be pretty chilly today. Like they know their nuances of what they say. Like it's cold as balls outside, right? Like what if you
like it was
that? Like
yeah, or like, do you remember it was cold that time 2 years ago when we went to so and so?
Right. Now that is possible and creepy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you remember that time we went and saw Infinity War and it was 86 outside? Well, that's what it's gonna be like today. Like,
yeah, cause I mean, like, at what point do you get like to where you're like at that point, like even in that and like Be Right Back, like you're almost basically cloning a person, kinda.
Yeah,
pretty much. And that was the weird thing is that they did it like the body was literally like they took the images and videos and they pretty much 3D printed him.
Yeah.
Like
I liked how they called him like a heavy user too, and that's like what made him kind of more eligible.
Yeah. That was weird. And then like her having to put him together in the bathtub.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like his arms and legs and chest and penis and head, like everything she just had to kind of attach, and then like didn't she pretty much have to like throw the toaster into the bath to like shock him and like wake him up?
I think so. Something like that. Or a stereo, maybe it was. I don't remember. There was something she threw through though.
Yeah, it was. So that one was one of my. That one and Nosedive were my.
Also, like the ending where basically like the child's born and goes and visits him like in the attic.
Oh yeah,
like that. It's just like, I don't know, just really creepy. It's just like, oh, if something happened to me, like if this was a technology that we had now, if something happened to me, like Melissa could just be like, oh, here, Phoenix, you still have a dad. It's just robot daddy. Like, it's just kind of creepy. Like, it's almost like one of those things where it's like, would I be okay with this if something did happen to me? Like, oh, I don't know. It's just really weird. It's like, that's what I love about the show too. Is it's like, it really makes you think about this stuff. And you're just like, like, this is gonna happen probably someday. Like, it's really weird.
That was actually going to be one of my WTF moments, which we'll get to eventually after this. But like her going to visit him in the attic, like he has to stay. Like just knowing that type of thing is in the attic, it's just crazy.
Yeah, that would be. I don't know if I could sleep just knowing like there's a robot Melissa upstairs. Just like shit, just hear her up there, just walking around, just like go to bed.
Toby, go to sleep. Right?
Go sleep outside. Go sleep in the trunk. Brandon, what are you here for?
So one of my 4 was the Waldo moment. The animated character running for office, I guess. I guess I really liked it just because, like, I mean, it kind of, I don't want to get too political, but it kind of like shows it's kind of relevant now. Like, I mean, I feel like, I mean, obviously some people say differently, but like, I feel like one of the main reasons why Trump was able to get in office is because of media, you know, and like just the ridiculous things he would say on the media. Like, and I mean, that's exactly what's happening with Waldo.
And him being a character and causing controversy or kind of saying stuff.
Right. And and while I do like the fact that in the one scene where he's just calling all the politicians out and for all their shit, like at the same time, I mean, it's just like he's not qualified for it either, and he knows it, and it just snowballs, and then obviously it gets to the point where like certain other episodes take place, and like the world is just not in a better place. So,
yeah, no, it's definitely kind of. I see what you're saying, but like, I'm trying to think what I was gonna say, but like he's not politically correct at all, and like people gravitate to that because they just like a lot of people just hate political correctness. Yeah, and like you said, it's kind of parallel to like Trump, like love him or hate him, like he said a lot of things that weren't politically correct, and a lot of people love that he wasn't that way. So, which is why part of the reason why he got elected. So like it's like this is something that's already happening, except it's a real life human being, as far as we know, and instead of a cartoon character. Like it just shows like anyone can kind of get elected. So it's like I don't know, just crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy episodes.
Crazy.
They're all crazy.
They're all crazy. Tony, your next one.
Wait, did you go, Justin? Wait,
mine was Nosedive. My first one was Nosedive as well.
Okay, so are we going to do that if one of us mentions?
Actually, I'll just go to my next one. That's what I'll do.
One of the ones on the list. Yeah, just go.
Yep. So the next one I had was Hang the DJ. That's from the most recent season. I just, to be honest, there's one episode of Black Mirror I didn't really like, and that's Crocodile. And it's a really fucked up episode. We'll get to it, I'm sure, later on. But after watching that, like watching this episode was just a nice, like, oh, cool.
A nice, more wholesome, yeah.
Right. It was just like, after watching that, I just was like, fuck. Like, I was just like, fuck. Basically, like, me and Melissa were just both like, that was not enjoyable at the end there, which we'll get to in a minute. But then having this episode, it was kind of a nice love story, I guess you'd say, where it kind of shows about these two people that use this app, and it shows them in like a secluded world where you have to kind of like stay within the walls is kind of like the concept, and you get matched up with people, but you only get matched up with them for a certain amount of time. So basically, you go on this date and you match up. You hit your button. It's expiry date at the same time, and it tells you, okay, here's how long you have together. It could be 2 hours, or it could be like 30 years. It could be whatever. But basically, it's about these people. It's about finding true love or whatever. But what ends up happening is these two people find each other, and they kind of feel like, oh, I like this person, and I'm not going to be with them, but I want to be with them, and I can't. And I just feel like the whole story, and then like how it all ends at the end, where it's basically like, oh no, so this whole thing you've been watching, this has just been like within an app. It wasn't actually real. Like, it was just like your conscience, like not even your conscience, like just like a digital representation of you, and just based on how many times you try to escape from the walls, like that's how much they match you by. I just thought the whole episode was just kind of a cool concept, and they had like a neat little twist. It wasn't like a huge twist where you're like, whoa, but it was like a nice twist where you're like, okay, cool. And then like the end, it shows like the real life people like meeting, like, oh hey, so
yeah.
That was also one of my favorites, was Hang the DJ. I could see it, like I could see something like this in the future, basically where Tinder takes off. I mean, Tinder's already popular, but like basically Tinder creates this Tinder island that's literally an island, and you go, and then it's the same thing. Like, you literally get matched with people, you go on a date, you have sex if you're gonna have sex, and then you're done. Like, you go to the next one, and then you just, this one was compatible enough, so you guys should hang out for 2 weeks. Like, I could definitely see that being a thing. So it was also like pretty funny to see. It's kind of a good representation of how real life relationships work sometimes. Like, the second girl, or the first girl after the main characters were together, where he was like matched with for like 9 months, and she's like just a pain in the ass, and she's a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, that actually happens in real life. Like, you get into a relationship, it seems fine at first, and then it just turns out to be like, this is wrong.
And you're just in it for 9 months when you should have cut it off in a week.
Right.
It's just like you said, it kind of almost shows like a real world, like a now link of like, this is kind of how relationships can be, except for this thing is like a little more concrete. Like, okay, you have to be together until this is over. And like you said, at the end of that, like that person you were talking about, like it shows them at the end of the thing outside, like this. Oh, that's the other thing I forgot to mention. Is like, so when you get matched up, you get this like cabin or like house like to yourself, and when you're done, you have to like leave. And then like it always shows two people like standing there, and then like those two people, they're just standing there, and it's like, all right, see ya. It's like, this is like adios.
Right.
So that was my favorite episode from season 4.
Me too.
Like, I liked USS Callister a lot, but I really liked Hang the DJ. Just maybe, like I said, it might have been a little bit influenced because I saw such that super dark episode before it, and it was just like, oh, cool, I can actually go to bed and not have nightmares. Like,
well, Justin, you know who did like USS Callister? This guy.
That guy.
Ooh, that was a good segue. Ooh. Yeah. So my number 3 is USS Callister. I like it. It's one of my favorite episodes because it's so like, it's different than most of the other episodes. It still has technology based, but like the premise was like you're basically in a video game. It's kind of cool.
Yep.
And I kind of liked it because it shows kind of how shitty some people can be like online, especially in video games. More so like children, and how like how our online persona, or like when we play games and stuff, how it kind of brings out the worst of us, kind of sometimes.
How a 12-year-old says they had sex with your mother, but they don't know what sex is, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then like it is, I don't know, and it's also kind of creepy, just the fact of like you basically make like digital clones of your coworkers who you don't like, and you basically just torture them at that point.
Yeah.
And, you just do that just to get power and just to feel good.
The other thing I really liked is that it has like at the beginning you almost kind of feel sorry for the guy because everyone's kind of being like assholes to him, and then like you realize like, oh, secretly this guy is the worst. Like this guy's way worse than these people are being to him. Like
secretly this guy is Hitler.
Yeah,
but he's like he goes home like he's literally stealing their stuff. He's a creep. He's like weird. So, and I just like the whole thing, and then like they even kind of like do another thing with like, oh, your conscience. Like they're like, we're not even real. Like we're just in this. Like they realize that they're just these characters in this game, and the real people aren't in the game. But it's just like at the same time, like that whole thing, like oh, so what we need to kill ourselves, kind of, so that to end this kind of thing. I don't know. Just it's like a really good all around episode. It still has like that Black Mirror feel of it with like the twists and kind of like the technology and stuff, but it's also almost like its own thing too. Like you said, it's different from other episodes.
Yeah, that was one of my top ones as well, and you guys basically already hit everything. But besides, like, I do like that there was kind of like a plan in place for between a group, and it like it kind of worked out, and I mean it played out in a stressful way, but also worked out, I guess. For the most part. So
let me ask you a question. Does he die at the end? Is he dead at the end?
I think he's
what you think?
brain dead. Or he's technically a vegetable, I think.
I think he's brain dead. That's my thought.
Like I'm pretty sure his consciousness is stuck in that realm or whatever.
Yeah.
So like I was curious like I was always curious like somebody just comes in there and like just like yanks it. Is he's just brain dead at that point? Like what? I guess the connection of his conscience is still in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, or like in an old, outdated version of the game, so it can't download.
It would depend on would depend on how the actual technology then worked. But from what it looks like, his consciousness would then be stuck either in the game or like in the thing, basically. Somebody's mic is broken.
Somebody. Hello? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Can't hear Brandon. For those that can't mouth read, god damn it.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
A lot. Nope. So nope, it's still
Yep, it's still
every time I like saw the main guy when they were actually like in the game, I kept thinking he looked a little bit like Matt Damon.
Yeah,
like a less attractive Matt Damon.
Yeah,
a little more doughy Matt Damon.
Yeah, like a video game version of Matt Damon. Like that's what it looked like.
Xbox era Matt Damon.
Yep.
PS2 GameCube era.
Yep. It was still a pretty good episode though. I liked it.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that just got cut.
You Echo maybe. Brandon, your shit's fucked.
How's that?
Better.
Good. Okay. No static.
Did you hear me say anything about the spinoff?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, yeah. But I was saying that would make sense. Before it came out, a lot of people were saying that they should make a spinoff about that, and after I saw it, it makes sense to me and how they could kind of work that out.
Yeah, because at the very end, it's like, oh, let's go on some adventures, and it's like, you could just continue that. Like, you don't even have to really do the Black Mirror part of it. You could just have it, the USS Callister, be its own show.
Right. Also, I'm pretty sure a nickname for that actor you're talking about is Meth Damon.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I like it.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So, Steven.
I will go with I'll go with one. I'll save the other one. I think that's gonna be a lot of people's, but the national anthem, which is basically the very first episode of the first season. The reason that I liked that one is because it was the most realistic to what actually could happen. And that was I think the one I watched first was the playtest one, I think, Justin, at your house.
Yep, that's one we watched first. And then we watched that one because me and Melissa at that point had not watched any of season 1.
Right. So basically it was one of the first ones that I watched, and like that one kind of got me hooked because the playtest one I'll get into in a little bit, but like that one was like what even is this? And the national anthem one was just like this is how the show's gonna be. Like it's gonna be scary because it's real. Like that's the type of thing. And
definitely I won't get into it yet, but it is on one of my WTF moments.
Yep.
Same
it's also
here.
in my WTF moments.
Yeah. I kind of hate that it's the first episode because there's been a lot of people I wanted to like show this show to. Well, I think it's easier now because there's so many seasons, but like back when it was like season 1 and 2, it was kind of hard to like show this to people because I'm like, they're like, so what's the first episode about? Oh, like, no, I don't want to watch that. No, I don't want to watch that. I'm like, if you just get past the first episode, I'm like, the first episode is really good, but just stick with
it. Yeah, but like just go ahead.
The first, the one thing I've seen because when I was trying to get ideas of like looking around and trying to remember all the episodes, I looked up like top lists. There's some lists that have that episode like top 5, and there's some lists that have that bottom 5. Like it's a very divisive episode. Like some people think like, oh, this is a terrible representation of Black Mirror, and some say like, no, this is perfect because it's like near future, definitely could happen, definitely real. Technology is kind of behind of why it's happening.
I think the ending. Yeah, I think the ending is what makes it like a really good Black Mirror episode. Because yes, if you technically take the ending out and that just happens and like it doesn't kind of fit Black Mirror at all, but just the whole everybody in the bar, like everybody's so consumed with what's about to happen, and if nobody was consumed with that, he wouldn't have to do it because he just let the girl go.
Yeah,
minutes. Like it was like 10 minutes before he did it. Like it was like
something like that.
Yep, and she was walking on the bridge because nobody was looking at her. That one for me, like you were saying, Justin, how it's really divisive, divisive. Is that the right word? Basically, like that one, I think it uses Twitter. Like it actually uses Twitter, the social media, and then every other episode is like more futuristic to where it's not specific things.
Yeah,
like, it's not a specific thing in the present. Like that one to me seemed like it literally could happen tomorrow.
Right. And the other thing is like initially before he actually does anything, like a lot of they use a lot, like you said, they use a lot of Twitter and other social media sites to kind of gauge his popularity.
Yeah.
Like, and he kind of gauges what he needs to actually do, and based off of like, or what's his kind of popularity going to be based off of what he actually ends up doing. So like,
and that happens.
That happens exactly.
Now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure people would say that some of our politicians are pig fuckers, but that's a different type of politics.
I think pigs have a little higher standards than that.
Ooh, got him.
Got him. The only other episode that I can think of that kind of has like Twitter references, I can't remember the name of it right now. I had it written down earlier, but it's the one with the bees.
Ooh, okay. We'll get to that because that's one of my favorites.
Okay. So we'll get that one later because that's not actually one of my favorites or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say for that one, it has something like Twitter, but it's not actual Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like a fake version, but
it's like the same exact thing as Twitter. It was just that one. The national anthem literally says Twitter, so that's where it got to me.
But
Brandon.
So I'll save that B one for the last, but my next one is playtest, what we already mentioned. So basically, this guy, he's kind of going on a little journey to find himself after his father passes away, I think, or something like that.
Yep.
And basically he ends up in, I don't know, is it, I guess, London or somewhere near
Europe somewhere, yeah.
And then he like runs out of money and he has to do these weird jobs to kind of make money to buy the ticket back home. And he ends up basically working for this video game industry and he has to play test a new like model or design or whatever you want to call it that they've created. And then the shit hits the fan.
Yeah,
basically. So main reason why I like this is I'm a kind of a big fan of like a lot of horror movies or like scary movies and stuff like that, and I really liked the horror element that they kind of went with from the beginning, like the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, that was that spider was pretty creepy.
Yeah,
with the dude's face. That dude's face was creepy.
Yeah. So like I really liked all those elements and kind of how everything escalated, and I thought the actor was really good and how he was just reacting to everything, but then at the same time he's like, this isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, stuff like that. And then obviously the two different twists that you have at the end like were pretty crazy. So
there were so many goddamn twists.
Yeah.
I was like, Justin, what the fuck did you make me watch? Like, I can't even comprehend reality right now.
Yeah. So like,
I was like,
everything in general was just pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, if he was in trouble, all he had to do was call his brother Star-Lord, and they would have, took care of it. He would have helped him out. Nobody gets that joke. I don't know if Justin, did you get that joke? Why I said that?
What?
Sorry, I was trying to fix it.
I was like, all he had to do to get out of the house is just call his brother Star-Lord, and he'd have been good to go. You don't get the reference? Steven, did you get it too?
I think so.
That's Kurt Russell's son, the guy in Playtest. Yeah. Justin, did you know that, Justin?
I didn't.
Yeah, that's Kurt Russell's son. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was the other one that I had to cut from my top 4. And that's only because, and I was going to just mention it in my what the fuck moments. I'll just mention it now. But it's literally like the ending of that episode. Literally, I would just usually when I watch Netflix, like binge shit, I just let it play. I literally had to pause it. And me and Melissa were just like looking at each other like, what in the actual fuck? Like, this is fucking. I'll get into actually what happens when we get to the what the fuck part, but like, that is why that's one of my favorite episodes, is because like, that was why it was the first one I showed you, Steven, because I was like, you will watch this episode and your mind will be like, what the fuck? And like, you'll just be like, I gotta watch
I literally couldn't comprehend it on that hour train ride I had. Like, I was like, what happened? At that point, literally for that whole night, I didn't know how it ended. Like, I just couldn't comprehend like what actually was the ending type thing. Yeah. I was like, kind of cray.
That shit cray, ain't it, Jay? What you ordered? Fish fillet. That's what you ordered.
Jesus Christ.
So I only have one left. I don't know what everybody else has.
I have one left. Actually, I have 2 left.
You have 2 left.
But it's still my turn before we switch to the next one. But so, and I'm sure the other one that's on my list, I'm sure all 4 of the 3 you were gonna mention. So I'll mention the other one. The one I was gonna mention is White Bear. It is the one with the woman running from the people with like that upside down pitchfork logo. The reason why I like that episode so much is that you're like, holy crap, these people are just recording her, and like, of course, that like people recording any troublesome thing happening in the world today and just putting it on YouTube or Facebook Live, that's already a thing. Mm-hmm. But the fact is that you're like, man, I feel so bad for this woman, and then you find out like, oh, this is because she's trapped here because she's a criminal and she killed a young girl with her boyfriend. Like, so then like you come, like it gets you like invested with this person. Like, oh, I feel so sorry for him. And then it just goes, nope, that's actually the bad guy. Whoopsie. And like, it's literally like a theme park for people to go and like torture this person and record them. And like, I don't know. It's like, it's a little bit at the same time. You're like, still like, oh, that's still a little fucked up. And like every night they just erase her memory and it starts over the next day. And it's just like, to me, like just that story. Cause I was like, just watching them, it's like, man, I wish these people would just leave her alone. Like, you just like the whole time you're like, oh, this sucks. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, like she gets the shotgun, she wrestles it away, she shoots it, and like the confetti comes out. And I was really like, wait, what? What? I'm like trying to figure it out. And all of a sudden, like, it's like, oh, there's the crowd and there's this. And so you're just like, oh, okay. Like, it was one of the episodes where like, I wouldn't say all of them I usually figure out like the twist before it happens, but that was one that definitely I did not know what the twist was going to be until it actually happened. It was just like, oh, like, and that's why. Same thing with playtest. That's like one of the things where like the twist happens, you know, it's like, oh. Although playtest, I kind of think I knew the first twist, but then the second twist, that's when I was just like, what the fuck?
I feel like there was like 4 twists.
There was a billion.
Yeah, there was actually, like, because there's the part where he's like freaking out completely and inside the house, and then they like stop it. Yeah, and then when he goes home to his mom. Huh? Yep, and then there's the part with the girl where she's trying to kill him, and then also like, actually, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just twist. Like M. Night Shyamalan just freaking blah everywhere.
I'm sure just called that episode pretzel.
What the twist? What the twist? Oh, is Facebook still frozen? Because I can run upstairs if I have to.
Yeah, Facebook is definitely still frozen with my face.
Right in the you guys just want to like vamp for a second while I refresh it?
Rant. Tony, you got a rant? You like to rant?
Oh, what I got today? Let's see. I got something. I had something, but I forgot. You know what? Let me tell you something. I get so sick. I think we talked about this too. No, I talked about somebody at work. I hate. So when I leaving out of work, Steven, you left our building one. You've left our building before. Yeah. So you make the right turn, then you get on Suitland Parkway, basically, right? Yep. Almost once a week, there's always somebody who just walks. It's usually kids. They just walk across the middle of the street, like as cars are coming. So like cars literally have to stop. Like it's almost a weekly occurrence. And like I'm just like, one of these days, somebody's gonna hit one of you. And like what pisses me off, it's not the running across the street. I'm like, we kids,
right.
It's when they walk. It's like they walk like they're not gonna hit us. It's that does it to me.
Like they're not holding us up. Like they're like, I'll just take my time. Like
they won't hit me.
Jog. Let me not. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It just takes some time.
I bet you I won't.
All right, so here's a funny thing. Actually, here's a funny thing that happened. What day did it happen? Saturday when we were heading out. So I will admit I am an aggressive driver and I get road rage sometimes. That's what you get for living in this area. So Erin's driving and we're heading up, on the Beltway, and this sentence comes out of her mouth. She goes, "I wish that I drove a battering ram so that I could drive people off the road." Because there were some stupid people, and I was like, damn, I never wish to drive anybody off the road, but I was like, you have got some road rage. She was like, I wish I just had a shitty car so I could just bump people. I'm like,
I think that all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, so actually I know we're not gonna just go and do the driving cast, but like literally today I did an experiment and I counted how many cars did not use their turn signal when they turned. There was 4. Now that might not seem like a big number, but I was only driving from 7:30 to like 2. So like, what the fuck? 4 cars don't use a turn signal, and you like magnify that 365 days. It's like, and that's just on my path that I go. It's just like, use a damn turn signal.
If I did that on one, if me and Brandon or Tony did that on our way to work, we would not be able to count that high. At least I feel
you run out of fingers and toes.
Yeah, I just couldn't.
All right, actually, it was YouTube again that froze, but that'll be fixed next week because I got a computer that I'm just gonna use for streaming and hook it up. So that'll be fixed.
YouTube is some boo.
Yeah, second week in a row it screwed up on us. And actually, someone had told me last week, even though it kept like the Facebook thing kept going out, if they were watching on YouTube, it didn't. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like it cut out for a while during the news, and then like when it cut back in, like kind of after we had explained what we were about to do. So like it might have been a little confusing about what we were actually doing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be fixed next week. 'Cause like I have a desktop computer that I'm just used just for streaming, so that should fix that. Yeah. It'll be hardwired to because the desktop upstairs doesn't actually have Ethernet access. So I'm gonna put it in the entertainment center just for this. So that'll.
Wait, you have a desktop that doesn't have an Ethernet port?
Well, it's upstairs and the router's downstairs.
Oh, true.
So I'd have to drill through the wall. But my dad, basically, one of our customers switched computers. So I took their old computer because they were just going to throw it away, and even though it works perfectly fine, and I'm just going to hook it up in my entertainment center and put the router in. It should be just for that.
Cool.
Boom. All right, but anyways, I think we were on Tony.
Yeah.
For his final episode.
So Brandon, you have one.
I have one left,
and Justin has two left, and Tony.
Well, no, Justin should have one left now, right?
I have one left now.
Yeah. So Tony, you're the only one with 2. So what's your number 2?
So my number 2. I'm sure you probably think I'm sure you probably think you know my number 1 is, but my number 2 is actually San Junipero.
Clearing the boards.
There it is.
Wait, Brandon, you have a different last one, right?
I do, yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
San Junipero's not even in your 4.
Well, no. So I explained this in the chat. Like, it was easier for me to keep some of them out, because I knew you guys were gonna have them in your top ones. But like, I knew someone was gonna have San Junipero, so I was like, I'll just leave that out.
Oh, so you're cheating, really? You're cheating because you already knew like 2 of yours were going to be said, so you actually have a top 6.
It would be kind of fucked up if I have a shirt and I didn't.
Right?
All right, but anyway, look, so San Junipero. So
just for clarification purposes, it is Justin and Mai's other one. That's in the top. So
we better get into it.
Yeah,
about to get.
we're
Tony
getting
can just do his 2, and then I'll do my last one.
Yeah.
But do you? So okay.
Well, you
so,
guys all just talk about San Junipero right now, or we can all can.
Yeah.
Let's just yeah. So here's a couple of reasons why I like San Junipero. I'm a romantic. I love romantic. I love romantic.
Hearts.
So I got my heart's on the shoulder. So I love a good love story, which is basically what San Junipero is. I love 80s pop music. I love like kind of 80s. You got me there. Bam, got me there. I like some good technology. Black Mirror. Bam, got me there. This movie, goddamn. This episode to me is the full package. And I think another reason I like it so much is that it's at the time. I mean, since we got Hang the DJ now, but at the time it was the only one that's had a happy ending, like a legit, like nothing's bad. Well, I mean, nothing bad, you know.
Yes,
right.
But yeah.
Yes, and I think, yeah. And to me, I mean, at the time, I thought it was the most kind of unique premise of like, you can kind of like basically like you're downloading your consciousness into a computer, and it's like a younger version of you, and you can like jump decades. Because like I didn't realize that at first. I thought it was just set in the 80s. Because I didn't realize what it was at first. But then like when the girl like goes to like the 90s, I think, or the 90s or 2000s, I'm like, oh.
That happened, Erin didn't really like she was like what? Like
yeah. And then I was like, what's going on? Because like the first thing that confused me was like the time limit thing. It was like it's almost 12. It's like what does that mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that kind of confused me was like the one characters were dressed like 80s, right? Like right in the beginning. And then there's the one characters that are trying to dress like Greece, like the 50s or 60s or whatever. And I was like, this is a weird town. Like, and I was just like obviously I didn't realize it was a computer yet, but I was just like, the other thing too is like the whole episode, like the first like half of the episode, I'm like, where does technology come into this? Because this seems just like
it's a long time before you see
it was just the arcade machines. That was the
right.
My question to you though is the ones that have passed on, like they're there permanently, can they actually change decades? I
don't see why not. I mean, they're in the computer. I mean, because I'm assuming it's not if they're conscious. It's not them.
I actually think once they pass, they choose whatever time period they want, and then that's what they're stuck in.
Yeah, because I was like, I thought they had to choose before they go in, or something like that. I don't know.
Why wouldn't you be able to? Why wouldn't you just be able to jump?
I don't know.
I mean,
I have to rewatch it.
Well, I think once you're in, basically days are normal days for you. Like it's not.
So it's not like
just be like
part of the program at that point.
Yeah, like you can't make a selection because you're
not visiting anymore. Now you are a permanent resident. Like you are as you are now. I think.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
You're the NPC. You're an NPC now.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah, because didn't she even ask a question, about the permanent ones? Like she was like, do they even realize that they're here or not here, or if like how long they've been here or something like that?
I think that's I think she did ask that question.
Yeah,
and like, oh man, it even hit my, like, I know I like the love story part, but like even it hit me in the feels with like just like, you know, the black girl and how like she didn't want to, like when she died she was just gonna die.
Yeah. Right.
But she didn't want to stay because her daughter didn't get, you know, like her daughter didn't get the chance, and her husband didn't do it because of that. And you know, just the whole thing of her, she wants to be with this girl she loves, but she doesn't want to feel like she's disrespecting, or like, you know, disrespecting like her daughter dying, or she doesn't want to feel like she hasn't a chance that her kid didn't have, or her husband didn't take, you know. She don't feel like she's being dishonest to them, you know. And then we find out the other girl's like she's paralyzed. She was like paralyzed, right? Or she was like brain dead.
She's basically brain dead.
Oh yeah,
car accident.
Yeah.
But that's why
like
when she's playing the video game, she flips out when the car crashes.
Yeah. Oh man.
The other thing too with this episode that it kind of, for a real life sense of it, is actually kind of how we met Justin, where like these two met in the place, right?
Yep. In game, yeah.
In game,
in the world, digital world,
in virtual world, but then they become obviously like real life
lovers,
right? Lovers,
like Steven and
like
baby.
And then they meet in real life, even.
Right, and then they meet in real life. So I just it's kind of like and it happens a lot more than just us, like people meeting online and then
right.
Yeah. Like
the one thing,
there was a guy that Brandon and I worked with at Sears a long time ago that basically played World of Warcraft with the girl, and they met in real life and they started dating and like moved in together. Like they lived together for a while from World of Warcraft.
Right.
So it was kind of like
the other thing I really like too is that, like he was saying, like the 80s music stuff, but it's like how it ends with like the heaven is a place on earth, like that. Because I was like, that line is literally the whole episode premise.
Right.
Like, it's almost like they took that song and was like, oh, how can we like make this into a whole episode? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure that's probably not what they did. They probably just came up with that later. But it's just I just like that.
Well. Let me ask you a question real quick. Because this is the thing that always bugs me, kind of with Black Mirror stuff. Like especially like in the the White Christmas thing, where like the girl gets like the little maid or butler of her conscience. So in San Junipero, is that technically you, or is it just like a digital Like so when they die, are they dead? And like, do they know? Like,
I guess you wouldn't be able to really tell
like
if,
digital,
you die. Like, which version is the real you?
Yeah, but is that is that them?
And it also depends on what you think of afterlife too. It's I don't know. It's very
yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking about like in the religious sense. I'm just talking about it like in like a factual like at that point. That's just a computer. Well, that's like a digital recreation of you.
If their time, well, I think what happens is if it goes past 12 o'clock and they're still there, they know that they're gone. Like you're conscious. I don't know if you're conscious. Like if they're there past that 12 o'clock and they don't get pulled out, then they know that they're there for like
forever. They know they're in a computer.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she knows at the end, right?
But I'm saying like I'm saying like once they die,
that consciousness
what is that?
Your consciousness or a computer version?
It's just like the computer. Like if it's just computer just recreating. Okay, we have all this data from their brain. Just put that there.
I can't remember.
I feel like the way I took it was that I don't think it's actual, like it's your actual conscious. Like that's
I also think that it's your actual consciousness. Like that they take the thing and they put it in that like basically the data bank, like the storage place. But I do think that the way that the technology works is that it is your actual consciousness.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons I liked it is actually kind of similar to why Justin, you liked Hang the DJ, is because because I watched all the episodes from like in order or whatever, and you know, obviously there wasn't really any feel good ones until probably San Junipero, maybe a few in between or something like that. But like, I feel like I was trained for the longest time to expect something that bad to happen. And for the longest time, I was in kind of like suspension, just waiting for something bad to happen the entire time. And like, I'm on my heels, or not necessarily heels, but like, you know, I mean, like I'm on edge, just waiting for something bad to happen. And then when it actually ends well, it's like, it's like a huge sigh of relief. It's like, oh, that's awesome. So,
and they kind of play with you. They kind of play with you with that too. I don't think until after like the credits start rolling, because they still show stuff after while the credits are rolling, like because the girl doesn't come back until during the credits, right? If I remember correctly, it's like the girl dies. I think they both die, and the white girl, she's like there, but then like it starts rolling the credits, and then like the song is playing as the credits are going. I think he sees her, like he comes back. She realizes she comes back.
Yeah, she picks her up.
Like as the credits are going,
because she doesn't come back for a while. I know that.
Yeah, and like you think like oh, she didn't come in with her. Like
I also
she's by
freaked
herself,
out.
But then like the credits,
Yeah, I also definitely freaked out when she was driving the Jeep and then crashed through the window.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, sweet Jesus, what's gonna happen?
Yep.
Yeah, that is kind of like Tony was saying before about a different episode. Was like this was definitely one that I think was USS Callister. Like it's different. Like it's just a different vibe, and I think that's like you said with Hang the DJ. Like it's one of the very few episodes that like have like a positive ending. Like even like the USS Callister, like the people that are in the game, they got trapped in the game or whatever, are like they get away, but like the guy could have just like gotten out of the game and like, oh crap, like they got away like this, but like literally he dies. Like he's like brain dead or whatever. Like they didn't have to make him brain dead, but they did because that's just what Black Mirror does. But yeah, that's basically
it's also It's also, I would really like to visit a town like San Junipero. Like, I just want to visit a town like that in real life. That's like, you know, even if it's like 80s ish. Funny quick note on that. I was looking through IMDb, just kind of reading, like looking at the actresses and stuff. So the highest rated episode is on IMDb is Hang the DJ at 8.9 and San Junipero's second at 8.8.
Get the fuck out of here.
The thing is, they're both like actual love stories that have a positive ending. And I think that some people, like, they're probably the two more mainstream episodes, I would say, like where you could show to like someone that's not into that kind of stuff and they'd be like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
Or this is good.
I do like them just because, like, every once in a while, I mean, obviously there are definitely bad things that can kind of happen from media or technology and stuff like that. But like, I do like that this show, there can also be a good side to technology and stuff like that. So,
right. Of all the things from all these episodes that I wish were real, like San Junipero might be like the one that I'm like, yeah, actually that wouldn't be so bad if that was real.
Yeah.
But
so
Tony, you can do your last one, I guess, or Brandon, one of you.
All right.
Well, Brandon, I think I know what yours is. Tony, I'm still.
Since we're all in suspense of Tony's, I'll let it reel a little bit or linger a little bit and do mine.
Okay.
My last one is Hated in the Nation. Which is about the killer mechanical bees. So basically, the premise is like these little tiny bees that were created to, all they were really supposed to create it to was just kind of take the place of natural bees and pollinate and stuff like that and keep the world alive. Basically, someone starts hacking them and using them to kill like public figures or people that are really hated, basically. And the way it goes about is that, like, there's this little, I guess, hashtag that you can use on social medias, like Twitter and stuff like that, called death2, and then you just type in the person name, and then whoever gets the most votes at the end of, I think, a week or something like that is the one that dies.
I think it was a day. It was daily.
Oh, was it daily?
Yeah, I actually recently, I didn't realize that this episode I hadn't seen before last week, so I watched it. So it was kind of fresh.
Okay. So I loved everything about this, like the relevance, because and honestly, I feel like there's a lot of people that actually use that hashtag. Unfortunately,
if that was real, it would.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other part about it is the kind of detective work and the rehashing of certain scenes and stuff like that. And I guess obviously the ending is pretty terrible, even though it kind of leaves on a positive note.
Right. It almost leaves open for like a second episode almost.
Yeah, exactly.
They kind of like allude to what's going to happen, but it's open enough where you're like, oh, you don't know if that's actually going to happen. But
right. Yeah. But I really like those stuff like that, where like there's a detective who's trying to outsmart the person, and sometimes like it makes it a better episode or better movie or whatever when the villain actually does win, kind of like Seven almost or something like that. So and that's one of the main reasons why I enjoyed it. So, and then plus the relevance to like kind of today and how people can be attacked for, like, I think one of the main relevance was the girl that does something really stupid, like she's
trying to pee on a statue.
Yeah, exactly. And then like she just gets like all this hate, and it's like it's barely even bearable and stuff like that for her online, and then eventually it actually kills her. So, you know.
So I felt like that episode was like, you could have just called it Law and Order Black Mirror. It was weird, like a Law and Order, like CSI kind of. That's why I liked it a lot too.
I will say the way that the girl died was very scary. Like that's
that fucking freaked me out.
And it was so weird because like I like, it's weird because they only attacked her too. You know, like I was fully expecting the bees just like to overwhelm everybody. And then
I definitely thought Wong was gonna die. I'm calling him Wong because I don't know I forgot his name in the episode.
I think his real name is Wong.
Oh well. Wait, why are you laughing, Justin?
Racist.
It's not
racist.
His character's name is Wong in Doctor Strange.
No, I know, but then he said I think it's his real name too. If it's not,
no, I'm pretty. It's like its last name or something like that. Is Wong.
But like when he is standing there in the road and like he just sees the swarm coming. I thought they were just gonna like go through him. Like I thought he was just gonna like get literally a ton of holes in him.
It's Benedict Wong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, duh, because they had the same first name. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, that was another I mean, there's only one episode I would say that isn't good. So
yeah,
and it's not even really like bad. It's just I just don't really care for it.
So side note for Brandon and Tony, you probably know this already, but do you realize who the actress was who played Blue and what she's been in?
Blue.
Yeah.
Blue?
Wait, you mean the
blonde?
The blonde. The blonde's name is Blue in that episode.
I looked it up, but I can't remember.
She's the waif in Game of Thrones. She's the girl that Arya fights with. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And I told you who the detective is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Merida.
Merida from Brave. Yeah.
She is Irish as fuck.
Yeah, I love
whatever
that.
She is.
Like,
yeah,
it's an amazing accent.
Yeah.
I just know pretty Empire.
Oh yeah.
I think he's in there. Yeah.
All right, Tony.
Tony, you better not let us down. If you say something.
If I say what? Like you expect I'm gonna say something?
I was gonna say one, but Justin said that he has one that he really didn't like.
I have a guess of.
I want to guess what his that he didn't like, but I want to hear.
Well, he already said it. What it was?
Oh, you did?
No, I didn't. I haven't said it yet.
Which one, Justin?
No. What are you talking about? Justin? I was like, mine is not crocodile.
Yeah. Tony's like, my favorite's crocodile.
I have a feeling I know what it is, but I'm not gonna guess because I'm probably gonna be off.
Drum roll.
It's not. I mean, this is more of a personal.
Too much pressure.
It's more of a personal like. So my number one is The Entire History of You. It's in season 1. I think it's season 1 episode. It's the last episode of season 1.
Episode 3.
Yeah. So
8.7 on IMDb. So
Toby Kebbell.
It's what? Wait, what rank is it, Steven?
8.7. So it's still it's tied with San Junipero for second highest.
Look at that. I just know. So I like this episode. It's really stuck with me ever since I watched it. Just like more personally, just because of the whole like you can rewatch all your memories and like you can kind of show people your memories and like it gives me kind of anxiety because for one, I'm the kind of person like if I do something I think I did something wrong, I'll ponder it all day and like you would think that would help me, but like if I did something fucked up, not fucked up, but if I did something like fucked up on accident and like I can kind of rewatch it over and over and over again and like that would like fuck me up. That creeps me out so much. And like I would be the main character. Like if I knew my girlfriend or wife, if like I saw like I had a video from like years ago and I see this dude in there, I'm like, but this the dude you were with 2 years ago. And then I'm like, she's like, no, he wasn't. I'm like, bitch, look,
bitch, rewind.
Put it on the screen now. And then like it's also like it also bothers me like and just like how like if you go to the airport they can like tap into your not your memory but like the hard drive in your head that has all the memories and seeing what you've done and it kind of puts you on like edge or like if I do this dumb thing
oh shit I accidentally littered at the one time they're gonna arrest me
or like even like if like I don't know, like don't ever like if like somebody beats the wife, don't beat your wife, people. Don't do that. Don't hit a woman. But, like I'm saying, like if somebody does something like that, which is something that's but no matter how you feel, it's something. It's private. It's a private matter between at home. If you go somewhere and you show the memory, people see that, then like I don't know. It just kind of I don't know.
Do you think someone like that would even have that though? Because obviously it was something optional. Like not everyone had it.
Yeah. But I mean, it seemed in the show like it was the norm because that one girl who didn't have it, everybody kind of looked at her, and I think even she got hers taken out. I think the point of her, she had it, but she got it taken out.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, just because that's what I don't know. It would make and it scares me because it would make me like I would be on edge all the time. I'm like I would be even if I was in a relationship. Right? Yeah, and if I was in a relationship with somebody, I'd be like. why you look at that person that way?
It's
I think he does that. I'm like, why you look at? He's like, I didn't do that. And I'm like, I can just do you right now.
Right.
I'm like,
30 seconds back.
Yeah. It almost takes like it to me. It almost feels like it takes your privacy away in a sense. I mean, even though you don't have to show anybody
for
that.
Sure.
I mean, like even though you don't show like minus like when he goes to the airport, like he don't have to show that. You don't have to show it to anybody. But just the fact that it's there and like at any moment, I can. Sometimes I like the fact that I can't really remember certain things, or like or like you get drunk one night and you just fuck up and you just go ham. And I don't want to look at. We kind of have that now with like Snapchat and people recording other stuff, but that I'm fine with because like it's kind of
all it is.
It's not the whole night.
You dancing. That's just
yelling.
Or you putting your shirt off, beers together, stone cold.
But could you imagine like you looking at that and it's like you can actually see everybody's like reaction. I mean, everybody probably laughing. Everybody's having a good time, but then you can like see the reactions of everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
It's just
because the thing is, it's like I hate to use this reference, but like it's kind of like Fortnite is what the thing I'm going to use here because when you're playing the game, you're focused on like one part of it, but then like when you're watching someone else, you can see stuff out like on the edges, like there's someone to the left that they don't obviously see because you're not focusing so much on like in the moment. So like I feel like with that technology, you would be like watch things back and be like, well, I didn't notice that before. Or like, oh, I didn't notice that before. Like you said, like because there's sometimes where like if you have like a big event the next day or like you're gonna have like a meeting with your boss or something like that. Like you just like the night before you just think about like, oh my god, like you're playing things off like, oh maybe like you just think about stuff that like sometimes you can't sleep.
Well,
like I would never sleep if I had this technology because I'd just be like, earlier this was happening. I should have done this way and like Yeah.
Well, in the episode, didn't he have like a job interview and he went back and back and watched it again to see
and even showed it to his wife and she was just kind of like, oh
yeah.
And, like,
and then he's like he picked up on like some subtle like
facial that he didn't pick up before. And I think like this is kind of like nosediving in a way where it's like a technology like also like consumes the person like until the point where they just break. Like that's kind of like if there's a few episodes like this of Black Mirror where like it's like there's this technology and it's like it looks like it has some good world purposes in the beginning, but like as the person becomes more and more consumed, it just like destroys them in their whole life almost in a way. Not as much in Nosedive, but in this one it definitely did. Like and eventually he just cuts it out of his head.
Like that was like the other one that's like that Archangel was like a lot.
Oh yeah. That one was
fucked up too.
that episode was a WTF.
You know, as someone that has a kid, I was kind of like watching episode like this wouldn't be so bad, but then like also they got the part where like she's having sex and doing drugs, and I'm like, nope, that ain't a good idea anymore. And then like she comes home and beats the shit out of her with the freaking tablet. I'm just like, yep, that's probably about how that would eventually go at some point. But yeah, that was that's actually a good choice. I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was a good.
Looking at all the episodes, I was like, oh,
yeah, I feel like that one like gets kind of fell by the wayside a little bit, just because it's so early. Am I echoing it?
Yes.
Can I throw one little joke in there?
Oh, sure. Go for it.
So God, I respect women. I love women. Just I don't want nobody get all offended. If I had like an archangel and like I had a son and like I saw him like asking like, well, let me see what so and so's doing, and like he's like having he's getting it. My dumb ass, I'd send like you could like send gifts. I send like the Denzel gift.
That would be pretty hilarious though. Just send him like the freaking.
But he sends him a slow clap. Just a slow clap.
Send him the.
Wait, what's that?
Which gift did you say?
The Idris Elba gift.
Oh, I was saying
that one. The Denzel one was like he's like my nigga.
Oh yeah. That's what I was gonna say. The Denzel one,
or like the dam from Friday.
Yeah.
Or what if she's like not attractive? You're like, bye, Felicia.
Right?
No. Or you just send the shit. God damn it.
Yeah. Or if you're just watching your kid and he's trying to spit game, but he's lying, you send him, why the fuck you lying?
See, now we found real.
Jesus.
See, maybe the thing is, I wonder how different that episode would be if the child was a male instead of a female.
Yeah,
it would be different.
That was a little bit different because as unfortunate is like having kids. Like I feel like having a female versus it's like there is different things you need to worry about. Like
yep,
and so it's kind of like because the thing is, her as a mother seeing her daughter having sex was probably a little bit bigger deal. But like I feel like most people, for whatever reason, if they saw their son, to just be like, "Oh, way to go!" Whereas like a female would be like, "Oh no, you're gonna get pregnant." Like you know what I'm saying? Like there's those two different ideology. I don't know why it's that way, but it is.
It makes a difference too that it was the mom versus the dad. Like if the dad saw that happening,
right? If you did like
the kid would be dead. Like
like parking with two, like the dad with a son. Like it shows like a whole different side of it.
Right? Oh yeah, that'd be kind of
So let's move on to the most shocking things that we've seen in the show, like the things that we started with. So I'm gonna start with
Crocodile. Let's just start with Crocodile.
Let's just start with Crocodile.
I mean, that is mine. That is mine.
That was one of the most shocking episode, and it was almost to the point, at least personally to me, where I think it went too far. It was too dark. Maybe part of that is because I do have a kid, and he's about the same. When I watched that, he was about the same age as the kid in the crib. And just for we already said spoilers, but like the kid, she even murders the kid, and it's just like to me, it was just like that is too dark for me. Like it was just too much. I get why she did it, but at the same time, I'm just like, ugh, that was just like it was just hard. Like I was just like, oh, and then like watched Hang the DJ, and everything was fine. But like right after I watched, I was like, God, that was really dark. That was way too dark.
I thought they were gonna stop before that. Like
well, thankfully they didn't show anything.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have been way too far. Like for
like I feel like they could have even cut that out. Like if they just went from her getting arrested to the guinea pig, like that would have been okay. Not.
I don't know. I feel like it was a little necessary just because it's just like it just shows how far she had fallen. And, and like I mean, like I don't know, but
it's still dark.
The good thing they did do is that they showed that she got caught. If they wouldn't have had that at the end, it would have been probably like way too dark.
Yeah, definitely.
Things and like she still got caught because it could, because I would eventually why that all happened is it made because like even the episode leading up to that, I was like, this is okay. Like it wasn't my favorite or my worst episode, but then like it just like got really dark. Like I was even like, man, they should just let like the one insurance lady just like somehow like get away, and like then that's how it ended. That would have been like the ideal for me. But it's just got, like so dark. Like she kills the husband, she kills this person, she kills this, but she just kills all these people. But it's like again, it's this. I guess it's a theme is like obsession and like being consumed with like that like a thing, and just like taking it all the way down to the dirt, and just like destroying your whole life, even though you like she got away with that first murder, she got away with the second murder, and it's like it just kept. And she just kept like, "Oh, I'll get away." Like, it was almost like she wasn't gonna get caught, and then she finally did. But
like, and the big thing,
fucking hamster.
Yeah, the big thing though, I feel like, is that if she just let the one guy do what he wanted to do, it probably wouldn't have affected her at all.
Right?
Like, he said he was gonna send her a random note. It was gonna, and then that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She just snapped.
So from that episode, talk about the real life thing. That the self-driving truck, like that's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Toyota has come out and
they're like, "Hey, remember that episode that everyone loved?" I also think that like that actual technology that'll be something definitely in the future, like to kind of like solve. Oh, hey, hold up, we got breaking news for everyone that's in Maryland. Third, I just posted something.
It's about their 300 thing.
Yeah, because I called them out and they were like, "You right."
Basically a lithograph.
Now there'll never be a guest on our show. Oh, that asshole that called us out.
No, I didn't call. I was just like, wait, did I miss the 300th thing? Because first 25 in line get a lithograph. Okay, cool. Anyways, yeah, but that episode was just like, that was definitely, in my opinion, the darkest episode.
Oh, definitely.
Like I don't even think it's really even close to any of those. Like they went all the way down.
Yeah.
But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think
they're
also,
like, oh, they're gonna stop with the kid, and then like they kill. I was just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Like, shit. Like I said, it just didn't really happen because like the baby's like babbling, And that's exactly what Phoenix does in his crib in the mornings. And I'm just like, oh God, don't do it, please don't. And then they did. I was like, oh no. Like,
and then I was also thinking, like, I mean, obviously, I guess they could because the guinea pig was what ratted out, but like, it made it like before it got to the guinea pig and stuff like that. When the insurance woman's interviewing the other people, it made it kind of seem like they had to focus on that specific moment.
Yeah,
like, but I mean, obviously, if they're getting it from a guinea pig, I guess they can just.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Kind of.
I guess
memory. I don't know.
I guess you could explain like they just don't have a very large memory, and it's just that the most recent stuff kind of popped up. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but like that insurance technology is definitely going to be a thing someday. To be like, it'll just solve all these insurance claims. It'll suck, but it'll be a thing.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I was like, she didn't really even. I think she could have just refused to do the insurance because she wasn't like really her responsibility to do it. She said, like no, but
I think she said you could get like a subpoena or something. Like I thought she said that the insurance lady's like, I can go get like a court order or something.
She did say that.
Something like that, but then also like before she even goes there, she's talking to her husband or boyfriend or whatever, and he's like,
"Why don't you just stay home tonight?"
Yeah, well, then but like, she's like, "Do you think she'll tell you anything?" She's like, "Or do you think you'll get anything from her?" And she's like, "If she lets me." So it made it seem like she had a choice there, but then I guess you mentioned subpoena. I don't know.
I guess it's just like she was just so worried and constantly paranoid about getting caught or something happening that it just popped up. But yeah, that episode was definitely shocking. Definitely.
I like how she literally remembered every single or both murders, not just the one that happened that night.
Yeah.
I have a WTF moment. I was gonna say the whole episode, but the end of Shut Up and Dance.
Oh God damn it!
The kid.
That's one of mine too.
Got him.
Like that got me. Like, so the first time I watched it, I didn't catch it at first. At like the whole thing, I'm like, okay, he just jerked off.
I was like, who gives a fuck?
Right?
But then when he got to the last guy, and the guy was like, oh, was it kids too? Like, was it kids or something? I was like, wait a minute. Oh, he jerked like a little kid. Like, ooh.
Right. Like, again, that's another one of my favorite things is when they do that, where they make you feel for this character, either like part of the episode or like in that case, the whole episode. At the very end, they're like, oh yeah, the reason why he didn't want to get that footage to go out is because he's a pedophile. Like, oh, okay. Wow, that's terrible. Like,
and then like
I really like the whole concept of like he's making him do like all this stuff and like fighting other people that are also, terrible people as well. And like you don't know it till the end, but at the very end, you're like, oh, and like it all just like the whole thing just changes.
And and it's so weird after the fact when you watch it again, because there's a scene earlier in the show before he even any of this pops up where like I think it's like a little girl drops something in the restaurant he works at, and like he picks it up and like gives it to her, and like he just like smiles at her. I'm like, oh, that's
yeah.
It's like a little kid. It's like a little kid. He just like he thinks he leaves a toy. He gives it to him, and he like just smiles like he's just here you go. And I'm like, oh, that's foreshadowing.
How old was the girl in the music video that he's watching that like kind of spurs his urge to?
I can't remember.
Spur the urge.
Yeah, that's definitely an episode now that you're saying. I bet you that if when you watch it a second time, it's like, oh, all these little clues sprinkled through here.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious what all the other because there's the black guy that they exposed him, but I'm like, I wonder what he did. I'm kind of like curious about some of the other people. I'm like,
and then the woman that leaves the first thing in the car, right?
Yeah, I think they show hers. On
they show.
She was like racist. She had like a racist rant or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
crazy.
But that is something that could have happened easily. Like anyone can like the webcams on like every laptop these days come with a webcam installed. Like unless
don't look in the FBI.
I mean, like, all my porn is man
incognito.
It's very normal. So I mean,
it's very
for the most part, it's normal.
Except for the bestiality stuff. It's weird.
Speaking of bestiality, that's
all those animals over 18.
Oh yeah,
that's one of my.
So do we all have just the same WTF moments?
Probably.
Yeah, that is mine.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
The ending of the national anthem one.
Yeah, that's my last one too.
My last one is playtest ending. That to me the biggest one of all time. Yeah. Just because I didn't really go into it. I wanted to get into it now, but like literally the ending is just like you think he's literally like wasn't he just like smashing his head against a mirror like trying to kill himself basically, or he was.
No, yeah. So it starts. Okay, so the first time is like you think the girl's trying to save him. She's just part of the mansion, and then like he starts to freak out completely and like try to kill himself. Yeah, and then they save him, and then he actually like he leaves the facility, goes home, and his mom is just unresponsive, just like she was afraid of happening or something like that.
Right,
like that was his fear the whole time, is that like he'd come back home and some things would be worse or something like that. And
because I guess like she's always, because in the episode his mom is always calling him and he's always going, I don't want to take this right now. I don't want to take this right now. I don't want to take this right now. And like they make it, one of the twists seem like she doesn't remember, like she doesn't remember that he's gone or something.
It's like, it's like basically like he keeps avoiding for the conversation. And then when he finally gets home, he can't have the conversation because she doesn't remember or something like that.
And then all of a sudden, right after this happens, he wakes up. Well, he doesn't actually wake up. It pans out again, and he goes, no, he died because all the synapses in his brain happened. Everything you've seen from this episode, from when he put the thing in his head to the end of this episode, was 1 second.
But the thing with that was, didn't the thing fry because his mom called him?
Yes,
and, like, it up?
Yes, because phone on.
So his mom killed him.
He stole the phone because the girl that he was kind of hooking up with worked for like a video game website or something, and was like, oh, if you can get pictures of that stuff and give them to me, we can make a bunch of money, basically. So he steals the phone and turns it back on, and then he has to throw it away. But what happened was, because it was on, his mom tried calling it, everything it malfunctioned and it killed him. So like that happened, and I was just like, wait a minute, like, because like you think like, oh, he woke up and like, oh, this is all good, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, he's actually dead. It's like, oh,
it's just like,
okay.
It's like the endings like snowballed from worst to like worst and worse.
Right. It's like, oh, this is bad. Oh, good. It was just the game, but oh shit, no, his mom's also. Okay. Oh, he's dead. Like it's just like, they bring you down towards the bottom, and then they like lift you up a little bit. Like, oh, it was just the game, and then also it's like, nope, it wasn't just the game. He's actually dead. Like.
And I think another reason why that one was so fucked up is because that was one of the few episodes where like the guy didn't really deserve it. Like he was pretty decent guy overall. Like, I mean, he was avoiding his mom's calls, but other than that, he was a pretty good guy.
Right. Yeah.
So
especially among the season 3, it was like he was one of the guys that was like good. I mean, on Nosedive really, but all those being obsessed with like that type of stuff was kind of not great. But yeah, it's like you said, like he was kind of like very likable. He was fine, and like all of a sudden he's just dead.
Yeah.
He tried to make some money to get home or whatever. It's just like,
did you guys have any other WTF moments
besides the pig? I mean, did we mention the pig yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I didn't think they were actually gonna like go through with that, and then when they finally did, I was like, huh, they went through with that. That was kind of shocking.
I feel like the scenes after when he's in the bathroom are worse.
Yeah.
Like he's got snot all down. He's just like,
sweating. Yeah.
He dove in,
right? He was trying to make that bacon. So I do have one more on my list. It was the ending to Black Museum.
Yes.
Okay. I have a question about Black Museum. So in one of the cases, there's the teddy bear from Metalhead, right?
Yes, I think so.
But like, so I mean, like, Black Museum is kind of meant to say that like all these things actually take place in the same world, right?
Pretty much,
more or less. But like, I felt like Metalhead was like supposed to be kind of completely like a
post-apocalyptic,
and like.
Well, I don't know if
those bears could have been something beforehand.
I don't know if it was supposed to be in the same universe, but I think it's more of just an Easter egg from something.
Okay.
That was.
I mean, I'm fully okay with it being just an Easter egg. I was just like,
could it have been the teddy bear from?
Wait, the teddy bear.
Well, no, because you're thinking of the monkey is in that episode too. That's the mother. But there's I also see like panned in the background. There's a teddy bear that like the woman's searching for in Metalhead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was actually a pretty good what the fuck moment too. Like this, like you're like, what was in that?
Oh
box?
yeah, the whole time they're just out there trying to find a goddamn.
Like they're literally fighting robot dogs for a fucking teddy bear. Like,
well, maybe the teddy bear that's in the Black Museum is actually the one she's trying to find, but it's actually from something else that we don't really know about. Like maybe that teddy bear.
Oh yeah, I mean maybe like the teddy bear is relevant to a different episode that we haven't seen yet, and that's just the crate of teddy bears that you see of the same teddy bears that are in the future or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of assumed that, like, because this season more than others, they did kind of connect it, because almost every episode that they used a mind thing, they had that piece, right? That they stuck in their head. Like almost every episode had that piece of tech, and that is the same thing like in White Christmas, right? That the lady gets taken out of her head, right?
Basically,
yeah. So that's what I thought that kind of cool that connected it. That kind of connects everything.
And then like the ending for that one, like where she literally just fucking cranks the guy up to 11 and basically completely kills her dad. Like makes it
she's got the little charm to remember it by.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. Also, that's Shuri, and she's awesome. So
right,
true.
I think
I'm trying to see right now. Do they have anything about this teddy bear on this? There's like a whole guide to like all the stuff in the episode. I really like that episode too, just because it was it's kind of like the White Christmas episode where it tells like a few different stories.
Like an anthology within an anthology.
Yeah, like I don't mind. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't mind if they did something like that every like. It's like
actually, now that you mention it, it's very similar because like it's even being told by the bad guy that kind of gets screwed in the end.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So funny side note, not really funny, but side note. So the nurse in the first part of that, like the first mini thing, Aaron used to be roommates with her in college. And that's the only reason Aaron watched it, is because she was in it. And so I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then you come to find out, you see her having sex and all kind of like ass and titties, and I'm like, oh, this is a great first time I'm seeing your ex-roommate.
So for you.
I'm like, oh.
If you ever meet her, I loved you in Black Mirror.
Right. I loved you in Black Mirror.
Another side note, you know the song they like to use in a lot of the different episodes? I can't remember the name of it, but it's used in the first trailer for the new Jurassic World movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, the song like the girl sings that they
in 15 Million Merits. Yeah, that song.
Oh, interesting.
Someone has a theory that the teddy bear is a different version of the monkey, and the reason why that they wanted the teddy bear so bad was because the kid that she's trying to get the teddy bear is dying, and so she's trying to get the teddy bear to him so she can transfer the conscience from the kid into the teddy bear. That's a theory on Reddit I just found. So I was trying to find
people are like,
cool.
Fucking theories. Yeah. Good God, this shit.
Yeah, if you go on the Black Mirror subreddit, it's literally just littered with shit like that. It's connecting everything, and I just thought that the one, like the doctor part, was actually the one thing I liked. Like he felt pain and just like got off on it, kind of like it was just like he eventually just gets again so consumed by it that he like murders a hobo, like just a homeless person, and just kills him.
Fun stuff. Black Mirror. Go watch it.
I feel like there's only one episode that I wouldn't recommend. I mean, I still recommend Crocodile, even though it's really messed up. But
no, I'd still recommend watching it. It's just like
what is it? Men Against Fire is like the only episode that I was not into.
Funny enough, I'm pretty sure that's the only one I've never seen.
Oh, really?
Is that what
Men Against Fire? It's basically like this about a soldier who like.
Oh yes.
He doesn't know if they're really his enemies or not, and stuff like that.
They're being brainwashed to see them as zombies, but they're really just people. Yeah,
the mutants or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that one I could give or take. It's just there kind of thing. But
all right,
is that everything? That's the Black Mirror megasode. Megasode.
Next week is going to be the megasode.
Yeah, next week is something I think we're all pretty excited about.
Yep.
Infinity War comes out a week from tomorrow. The week from tomorrow, we right now will be in the middle of Infinity War. we'll be balls deep in Infinity War. So
here, hold on. Let me just put this up on the screen. I don't even know if you can see it. No, I can see it. There we go.
Point to
talk.
What? Oh, talk. Yep. Look at that. It's a countdown. 7 hours, 7 days, 22 hours, 10 minutes, and blah, 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 something. Yeah, that's right, people. I have a countdown on my phone. Don't judge.
So basically, next week, what we're going to do is we're all going to put out our theories as to what we think is going to happen in Infinity War. And I guess technically that would also kind of say what we're going to think is going to, like, Infinity War 4. Avengers 4 will be about based on kind of what happens.
We do like a kill count or...
Yeah, and then we could probably say, we're going to talk about, who we think is going to die, who we think, if there's
nobody's dying.
That's all you got to know. All right, death to Cap. Hashtag death to Cap. No, but because it's a very interesting time because a lot of these people, their contracts are up, so you can either say they're going to die or they're going to be in comas. Is Thanos going to survive past this movie? I mean, there's a lot of stuff we have to talk about. So I know I've personally, for probably the past 2 weeks, have been kind of trying to formulate an actual theory, and then every once in a while, then the Russo brothers say something, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel so confident about it anymore.
Right? Yeah, I know. Like, you don't want to. You don't.
They're like, because the one thing I know for sure is like just they keep reiterating like, no, Infinity War has a beginning, middle, and end, and Avengers 4 also has a beginning, middle, and end. They won't say that they're not connected, but they say like they're connected. Like Civil War is going to be connected to Infinity War, and it's like, well, I haven't seen Infinity War yet to make this like how connected they are. So it's like, or they could just be trying to throw people off. And we know that something that happens in Infinity War affects Avengers 4 because they're not giving us the title of Avengers 4 yet, and they said it's going to be a while after Infinity War comes out till they actually divulge that. So
yeah,
something's going to happen, but we'll get into that next week. But I know I'm personally pretty excited. Probably the most excited I've been since the X-Men episode personally, but. Yeah, we got a lot of ideas, but that's the one we have for next week is Infinity War. And actually, then the following week is Free Comic Book Day, and I don't know, maybe we'll do something that weekend when we're all in the same building. So look forward to that as well. But for next week, look forward to Infinity War. As always, it'll be at the same place, same times. Facebook, just look up Fanboy 4. YouTube, same thing. Just search in the search bar Fanboy 4. As I said, on top of the show, Twitter is Fanboy 4 Pod. Instagram should be the same thing, although I don't do a very good job at Instagram, so
you don't do any job at Instagram.
True.
Well, let me put on Instagram right now. It's a little too late.
I don't even manage my own Instagram, so like I don't even go on that. Like I just have it defaulted to the Fanboy 4 one in case I get.
I have 3 I got to deal with fucking 3 different.
Yeah,
I forgot I had an Instagram until your wife like friended me. It was like, did you ever get my friend request? It's like, for what? It was like,
oh, I have one.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I didn't even know that.
That was like the other day. All of a sudden, I got like a notification from Snapchat. I'm like, I still have one of those. I thought I deleted that app.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can follow me and just follow me on Twitter at Leviathan426. Brandon on Twitter is Redo3BMC. He doesn't tweet very often, but you still follow him. We'll go with Galv next. Steven is Galvinator93. Don't just Google his name as I say to do every week because we found out that like brings up a bunch of
G93. Yeah.
Jesus.
God damn it. Anyways, Galvinator93. Twitter. Look him up on Facebook if you want. Everything. Basically anything. Just Galvinator93 is probably it. Tony is the one with different stuff. He's got at Tony Brown on the Twitters. He uses Instagram a little bit more, so you can go with Omega Sanction _. He's also got he's cheating on us with another person named Brendan instead of Brandon. I don't know why he has a thing against Brandons, but they have a thing called Super Game Brews. You can look at them up on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter I know is at Super Game Brews. Check that out. It's actually pretty good. Not as good as this, but close. I mean, if you want more Tony in your life, that's how you get more Tony in your life. He's got another project.
I'm slightly drunk in those. So.
And then actually, we don't really have a name for it or anything yet, but next Tuesday we might be doing a football podcast, some of us. So actually basically me, Tony, or not me, Tony, me, Steven, and Brandon. We might be doing. We might come up with something. So just follow. I'll probably share it on Fanboy Four if we do. So check us out there because the NFL draft is next week.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna miss the NFL draft to watch Infinity War, but I think that's a good trade-off.
Also, Justin's birthday is next week.
Yeah, turn 30.
Woo. You old fucks. You old fucks.
Yeah.
All right, I think in anticipation of next week, there's only one way we should leave this episode.
Avengers Assemble. No.
Oh, no.
Wait, what? I don't know what you just did.
It was the finger snap, like Thanos does in the comics.
Thanos finger snap. Now half the universe is dead. Thanos, way to go. God, I can't wait to discuss that next week because that's like one of the things. Like, is that going to actually happen? But we'll talk. Hey, there's your little tease. Well, here, this is what I'm going to ask all the people. If you're still watching, do you think the finger snap of doom from Thanos is happening? Like, let us know. Comment. Just do whatever way you got to do it. Tweet at us, whatever way you want to do it. Just if you just make a tweet and put hashtag Fanboy4, that'll even work. Just let us know.
Josh, text us. Text us, Josh.
Josh, if you're the one watching, text us. So, all right. Well, thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week. Adios.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.